new Spider-Man 2 game where you can switch between Peter Parker and Miles Morales on the fly?
Yes, I did see that.
I thought that looked pretty dope. I haven't
Yeah,
played
I thought it was
other
cool.
one. The
Also,
last Spider-Man game.
The moveset with the symbiote, Venom symbiote Spider-Man is dope as hell.
Yeah, it does look.
I don't know if you saw the
cool.
gameplay on it. It was pretty slick.
The last Spider-Man game I played
and slams them.
Wow.
Yeah, well, it's crazy.
Spider-Man
like I said,
2.
it's in just. Oh, okay.
For the Xbox.
Yes.
For the Xbox.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah, back in 2002. Or was it 2003? I don't know.
Yeah, but, it looks good though. It looks really good. It makes me almost want to go buy a PS5, but then I realize I want to play it. So
I want a PS5 so badly. By the time I get one, there's going to be a 6.
Yeah, I think I'm going to skip this generation. Just go for it. I mean, because really, like, you can get the same games on your PS4s and your Xboxes ones at the same ones anyway. So, like, it's not really like a whole another generation. It's just like 2.0, not even 2.0, 0.5.
Yeah, like it came out for no reason almost. Like,
yeah,
because
I kind of think we're at the point where the hardware is just like it's plateaued. Like there's only so much shit you can put in there.
Yeah.
Like, oh, look at this. It's just as realistic as the last generation. Oh, so cool.
Right. I know, Jason, you were amped up about what is it? Lower Decks is going to be done in live action or something.
Yeah, Jared and Alex and I were debating how they're going to end up in the because they're going to be on Lower Decks, which takes place after the next generation is going to the two characters of Boimler and Mariner are going to be on Strange New Worlds, which takes place before the original series. So that's like 130 years in between. And we're deciding on how they're going to do that. What Star Trek-y way they're going to make this happen, which is going to be just time travel, obviously. Because, those Star Trek people just be time traveling all willy-nilly. Like, no one gives a shit that they just went back in time and did shit. Like, they really went back in time and stole whales. So that's probably going to be
for the movie?
Yeah. That's
okay.
The Journey Home, I think. Or when they steal the whales. And then they get whales in the future, so they can have because on the Star Trek, on the ships, they have a whale deck dedicated to officers who are beluga whales and dolphins, and they're really, really handsy.
That sounded
yeah.
Okay.
You got no. It's exactly what you think it is.
Okay, cool.
The dolphins.
It's exactly what you think it is. Yes.
The dolphins.
The dolphins like the F. Dolphins like the F. So that's
They are definitely an HR situation waiting to happen.
Did you guys hear that is going to be the Meg Part 2?
I saw the trailer. I'm going to be honest. I never saw the Meg Part 1.
I mean,
I literally just watched it when I finished watching Slashback for the show. I just rolled over into the Meg and watched it. Looks like this one's going to be way more cartoony because the first one was almost playing it a little bit close to the chest, like almost Deep Blue Sea-ish. This one from that trailer looks like this. They're just like going straight bananas, like Piranha 3D style. Like,
I feel like if I ever got into a shark-involved incident, I would move to like Iowa and never get involved in a shark-involved incident ever again. Like, how are you 7 Jaws movies in? Like, why are you still going to islands and shit? Like, no, moving to Kansas, calling it a day. Not gonna get eaten by. Then the Sharknado comes. That's the problem. You can't escape the sharks.
No. Yeah, poor sharks. Poor sharks get a bad rap.
Yeah. They're just living their best life,
Yeah. And like anyone, like anytime I kind of go, I decide I'm a little brave. I'm just gonna like Google the ocean and just see like I don't know. Yeah. And then I can't sleep for like a week because I just like the shit that lives in the ocean is
nightmares.
Literally nightmares. And And I am just like, no, I just don't think I ever want to go to the ocean ever again. It takes me a minute to not be afraid. And then people are like, well, you ever want to go on a lake? I'm like, because, lakes are mainly man-made. And so it's probably just going to be...
And the ancestors are like, come on down, baby. And I'm like, no.
if it ain't got chlorine in it, I ain't with it. No chlorine, I ain't with it, bro. I'm done.
Yeah.
That's just nasty.
5 feet at the most.
I don't know. That's, I think, all the news that I had. I think Tenacious D's coming out with another album. I know. Only reason I knew that is because I know Jason hates the Peaches song so much that I was like, oh, they're going to make another album, and I think it's going to be inspired by that. So I can't wait for Jason to shit on it.
I would never shit on Tenacious D.
Did I imagine? I think Peaches won an award. Did I hallucinate
it's like
that?
The best song or something like that.
Yeah. Like, it won like a big award, Peaches. And I thought of Jason. And when I saw that.
I'm sorry. People who award things are idiots usually.
Well, it's
fine.
I mean, yeah.
Check out all the Academy Awards of all time. Really?
Yeah.
It's like, he dropped a new song called Video Games, so that's why.
I did listen to that, and it was actually, the video is actually pretty good.
I think Tenacious D is coming to Atlanta.
Ooh.
I'm pretty sure. That could be also another hallucination, but I'm pretty sure.
Lisa's just having fever dreams this whole entire time.
Everything's been true so far. So.
I know Double Toast is coming to Atlanta.
We should go and like tell us to like give us like rub off their sauce onto us. They have a professional sauce on.
I don't like the way you said that. I don't feel like
hard pass.
You don't want none of their special sauce
best way to phrase that.
To cover your face and just slide down.
We'll let you sit up front, Jason. We'll let you sit up front.
Get all the sauce you want.
Just get all the juice.
You want it from Corey or from Martin or both at the same
Corey,
time?
he's a star. He's the guy on the tin.
You want Corey's magical sauce all over you.
I mean,
so bring back to the show and tell us about it.
Bring it back, and I can like, here's all the juice. Here's the special sauce. Also, start off with $1 million in the bank.
Just keep it to yourself, and we'll just let the show grow off of your special sauce.
Yeah,
me and Lisa are cool.
Yeah, we're good. This is your time to shine, Jason. That's what I think. It's your time to shine.
To be famous.
You go ahead. You go ahead.
There's a reason why the casting couch is a thing.
Oh God! I hate that I know what that is.
It is disgusting.
Everybody should know what that is.
Well,
if you were ever on an audition, they leave you to a room with a couch and be like, you know what? I don't think I want this part, and just walk right on out.
Yeah, good. And they're like, have a seat. You know what? I'm good.
So I'm looking at prices for it. So a general admission is $40. A VIP plus admissions is $124.
Jesus.
And then a double toasted all access package. That's the one you probably need, Jason, is $249.
So I can get the sauce.
What does that get you?
So it gives you the pre-show, intimate VIP meet and greet, and cocktail hour.
The casting
pre-game with Corey and the gang, cash bar. They make sure they stress that cash bar. All access ticket holders will be integrated into the show and pulled on stage. Exclusive double toasted VIP laminate and exclusive double toasted merch
laminated
ticket to the show. And you can get it at 5:30 instead of 7. So that's the package you need right there, Jason. I mean,
I don't want to make a fool of myself in front of strangers more so than I already do every week on this show.
Well, let me see. When's the latest we got to buy tickets? Because maybe if I come up on something, I'll buy it and we can all go and.
It might be worth it just to get them to know who we are.
Yeah,
that's exactly
I was
going to talk about us.
Right.
Like, hey, yeah, we're like you guys, except we don't have millions.
Not as cool. Nowhere near as successful.
We're
not as tall.
Way cool. You better stop.
We don't have.
We're not as cool as they are, though. Like Martin wears a cool hat every show, and I'm always envious of it.
Yeah, you should start wearing hats.
I don't have a hat head. I don't have a hat head though.
I don't have a hat
Get a hat right now. Like I got a Braves hat. Y'all pick Braves hat. I got Taylor Swift. What else I need?
Oh, you got a Cody Cameron hat. I know you have that one. I mean, James has one.
Yeah, I'm not wearing that. It was covered in sweat. I about died.
Oh.
He was.
Oh, we were so sweaty.
I had to wash his clothes, and I was like,
we were disgustingly sweaty that night. Oh my god, it was. I was even like, oh, this is way too much. Just nothing but just unwashed bodies, just like pressing up against you for like an hour and a half. What were you all doing? We're at the Cody Canberra concert. Like we're down on the floor. My favorite band of all time. The things that I do, like
it's like literally his personality.
Literally my personality.
I have the Harry Potter hat.
You just told me you just stole from people. That's all. That's you just told me.
Literally,
all this time I thought it was originality.
No,
shame on me. Shame on me.
It's a Puerto Rican guy with big hair surrounded by another bunch of white people, but cool white people. One was a heroin addict.
I love cool white people.
Oh, even better.
Yeah,
that's like the legit white person, the heroin addict one.
Yeah, that's the one that's going to be like, yeah, either he's going to be really cool or you don't want to be around him at all.
Right. Want to start at 12 minutes?
Well, we can go ahead and let's do it. So we can do the game because we can.
Oh, you got to game.
Wait, we got to do the game.
Start with the game,
or we can do the game right now because we're already been recording. Let's do the game right now.
I thought the game was tied into something.
No, it's not tied into anything. It's just supposed to be some bullshit. Like we're doing.
Okay, then we can start at 12. We can do the game at 12.
I forgot we were even recording. I forgot. And I'm the one that pressed the button.
That's why we're not successful.
And I was the one that pressed the button.
Top-notch professionalism you get at the show, ladies and gentlemen. Don't ever forget it. Don't ever forget it.
Look, we are the consummate professionals. We are the top of our game. Right?
Oh, 100%.
You're never gonna get
we're in our podcasting prime.
Yeah.
Here. Hey, everybody. Thank you for joining us. I don't know what I'm talking about like William Shatner, but that's the thing. Welcome to the Head Cannon Circus Podcast. I'm your host, the king of all nerds, the duke of all night skins, whatever Jason used to call me, Jason Baker, everybody. Applause. Thank you, Lisa.
You're welcome.
We have an incredible show for you today, but of course, if it's your first time joining us, please like, subscribe, share, comment, especially the comment part, because the algorithm. They were talking about this in Congress, and they're like, does the TikTok connect to my Wi-Fi when I'm using the home Wi-Fi network? Yes, it does. We need to connect to your Wi-Fi so we can steal the secrets for the Chinese government.
No, nope.
Yes. But we have a great show. We're going to be reviewing Fast X. That's going to be fun. X going to give it to you. What? We're also going to be reviewing White Men Can't Jump. That's going to be great. And then finally, we're going to be reviewing Slashback, which has Native Americans in it, which is always going to be great. Yay. But first up, I must introduce my two co-hosts. I have no analogies for you today because I was making my little game here. So, Jason, how you doing?
Good. Hey, buddy. We're here. No analogies needed. We're fine after 92 episodes. I'm pretty sure they figured out what it is and what it's going to be. So
yeah, I would hope so. Is it 92? I couldn't know if this is 92 or not.
92, 192.
Yeah, I think it's actually 93, but it's fine. It all fits the same.
Yeah, it's all the same. And of course, she's the only reason why anybody is actually watching this thing. Lisa, how are you doing, Lisa?
I'm doing great, guys. How are you?
You know what? Just a squirrel trying to get a nut.
Right.
Okay.
Like literally on all our shorts, I just make sure that Lisa's photo's on there because I realize that people see women on shorts. They're like, "Oh yeah, let me click it."
Nah, that's one.
So, can I tell you?
And it just turns to your face immediately, Jason. It goes, "Oh, if you don't know that, you know." They're like, "Oh, they got me."
Gotcha.
So James noticed that. He's like, "Your face is on like every short." I'm like, "Yeah, they gotta be doing that because I know people coming to look at me." And I was like, "It's gotta be on purpose."
Hey,
I mean, I click on shorts all the time when I see women. I'm like, "Oh, woman, short."
It's
I
called
didn't read what the
clickbait.
description is. Woman.
Click. I gotcha.
Dudes, oh no, that's not what I wanted. Concise movie reviews. Oh God, that was here for the ladies.
For the ladies.
Well, to start off with this fantastic episode, I saw something on Facebook. You probably saw it on Facebook too, Jason, because you're on the Facebook. But I know Lisa's not on Facebook, so therefore, at least be a surprise to her. So I made a game about it, and it's called Guess That Living Room.
Fun. Okay.
So it's the living rooms from famous sitcoms from the 80s and 90s.
What do we have to do to buzz?
You don't have to buzz. We're just gonna go through them, and then you're gonna guess them. And if you are right, I will say you're right. And if you're wrong, I'll say you're wrong and probably make fun of you.
But what if like me and Jason both want to guess? How do you
both
win?
Guess. There's no winning. It's just
I don't
for
know
fun.
Nobody living rooms except for my own. So this is gonna be interesting.
Okay.
It's just
for the people who are listening and not watching this, we'll try our best to describe the living room so that they give you an opportunity to guess the living room that everybody.
Yeah, if you want to watch this, subscribe to our Pantheon, and maybe for a low price of $150,000, we'll let you watch it.
It's free on YouTube as well. For the low price of nothing on YouTube.
Don't tell them the free option first, Jason. You gotta
Jason.
Look,
capitalism.
And we're actually playing this game with our feet on camera, just to make sure you know.
Yeah, you guys.
Everybody knows. All our toes.
If you want to donate, I mean, Jason just said he'll do anything for money. So. If we see that big old donate button come through, he'll show you his feet.
You're not wrong.
He's trying to get that double toasted sauce.
Here we go. First picture. All right. This.
Bing bing.
Go ahead.
All right. Looks like a 70s aesthetic. The couch is what? I don't know what the colors those are.
It's a flowery brown and orange couch in a room with brick walls, sliding door in the background, and the stairs and catty-corner stairs leading up.
Married children.
Give a hint when what she just said. Okay. She'll give a hint. Like, the daughter comes in. The daughter comes in, the crowd goes insane.
But, she's fine as hell. She's still good. Christina Applegate's still fine as hell. And also Katie Seagal. She's still fine too.
Still fine.
Christina Applegate is no bueno right now. She's very sick.
Oh, well, our hearts and our thoughts and prayers go out to Christina Applegate because we can't do anything about it. All right, next up. This one. Oh my god.
I know the answers to these two, but we're trying to let people have a reason to listen.
He said a game. I hear a competition. I'm
literally
sorry.
No one that's listening is going to want to listen to this. We don't give them a chance to know what's going on.
Sorry.
The show that this living room represents is about a poor white trash family.
Yeah, poor white trash.
And the mother, we found out, actually ends up being a crazy conspiracy theory racist.
Because she was poor white trash. She told us exactly who she was this whole entire time. Like, I don't understand why people were surprised. All right, Lisa,
we'll let Lisa give the answer in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Roseanne.
Yes, Roseanne. Indeed. Here we go to the next one. Now, you should know this one, Jason.
Oh, I mean, I know all of them.
Oh, where's the bing bing, Lisa? Where's the bing?
You guys yelled at me last time.
All right.
I'm confused.
This gentleman has a green couch in his home. He has a do the right thing poster up that usually hangs right by the door when you enter. And one of his famous catchphrases was, "Damn, Gina."
And you also can't forget there's a window in the background where Brother Man from the 5th floor come in and ask for some sandwiches.
Facts. Lisa.
Bing bing, Lisa.
4, 3, 2, 1. Lisa.
Martin. Yeah. All right, this one, everybody should know what this one is. This is thank you,
yes. All we're going to say is Once Upon a Time.
In West Philadelphia, born and raised.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a couch. It's a very this used to be like how my parents' house used to look. Like this is a very classic 90s black household.
Yeah.
Especially if you have plastic on that couch. If it was
hold your horse. Let me finish. Especially if you're black and you had a little bit of money. They got the same couch. We got the same couch.
It had plastic. It still had plastic on that shit.
It was
You
bad
passed.
plastic all over that shit. Like you can't sit in that, man. You can't sit in that.
In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. Exactly. Wow, we're 5 for 5 right now. Okay.
Oh man. This living room is the show was a spinoff of the mother was on another show. They did a spinoff of it. The dad was a cop.
I was like, why
they had a very
you...
pop culture echelon character that was a nerd and a geek that was always trying to get with the daughter, and they was always trying to get rid of his ass.
And do you have any cheese? Or
did I do that?
Yeah. I was trying to make it a little bit harder because it's like $1,000. So
but none of the points are really here.
Difficulty. All right, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lisa.
Family Matters.
You know what? One day we're gonna have to talk about Urkel, because one day we're gonna have to talk about him
because he had the finest girl in the world and he wanted that hood rat chick.
He had
Myra, and then he went for the chick that kept disrespecting him.
Yeah, just always disrespected him.
Yeah, also wax him.
Don't fall asleep. Don't drink anything in this house.
Yeah, I was about to say, it's for 200. Yeah, Spanish Fly. You want a Ray Charles impersonation done by the kids for the grandparents.
Pops.
Probably the finest TV mom of all time. Sophisticated, both for
underrated woman to this day. Underrated. Just completely.
Oh yeah.
I don't know this one.
He was America's
You don't
dad
know this one?
I don't think so.
Ooh.
Lisa.
Well,
I don't know.
Hold on. This is for this TV show, particularly, led to the rise in white supremacy in the late 80s and early 90s.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. And it also led to the rise of sleepy white women. In the late
5, 4, 3.
Oh, is this the Cosby Show?
Yes.
Ding, 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 ding.
I don't know why I don't recognize the live. I mean, I guess
probably
put
something in your drink when you watched
you probably were knocked out when you watched it. All right, this is gonna be hard. Well, not
all right. The 4 elderly ladies living in the house. Is that the correct show? Am I thinking about?
Yeah.
One was a racist.
Theme song is that was a theme song is epic.
Got that wicker furniture.
B. Arthur.
Absolutely. One of the old ladies was a freak. One of them was really ditzy. And
was
the oldest of them all.
Oh, you're right.
Sarcastic.
Yeah, Rose was the ditzy one. Blanche was sarcastic. And Sophia was the old, even though she was the youngest woman on the show, actually.
That blows my mind.
Correct. Yeah.
That blows my mind. That show defies all
You definitely watch this with your grandparents.
I watched it Nick at night.
All right, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
The Golden Girls. Thank you for being a friend. Yeah.
Banana.
All right, y'all should get this one.
Oh,
easy.
Yeah.
Easy.
So 600, so I won't go too much. All right. Single dad decides that, hey, I'm not going to raise these kids by myself. I'm going to get my 2 best buds to live in a house with me with my 3 daughters and raise this kid together. And none of you are going to ever move out. And we're always going to be here. And another epic theme song, which I realized all these shows have epic theme songs. Yeah. Another epic theme song in this one. And the lead dad in here used to be a dirty comic and cleaned up just for this show. And they went back to being a dirty comic after he left. Oh, well, yes. I mean,
also, one of the uncles, Alanis Morissette, wrote a song about him because they used to date.
Allegedly.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
No.
Oh, yes. I'm about to say allegedly, yeah, because I've heard. All right. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Full House.
Full House. Yes, the fullest of house.
I guess I could have mentioned the spinoff too, the sequel, but who cares?
Y'all might not get this one.
Ooh, bing, bing.
Okay, I think I may know this one, so I'm gonna let Lisa describe this one because I want to say I know what it is, but I want to guess this one because I'm not 100% sure.
Okay, I won't. Okay, so there's a modern working woman, right?
Yeah.
And she has her sassy mother lives with her, and she has a son.
Yep.
And so she needs a nanny and someone to help her manage her house. So she hires a male. How progressive of her.
An Italian man. And he brings his fine-ass daughter.
He brings his fine-ass daughter, Alyssa Milano.
Let's come live with him.
Okay. I can't think of the name of the show. It's with Ted Dance. Who's the boss?
Who's the boss?
Exactly.
Yeah. I think this is the last one. This is going to be hard because this is before any of us are born.
Oh, I know what this is.
No, this is easy. This I think this is clockwork.
Ritter, right? Is it Ritter?
Yep. Yeah.
At least she just throws away the lead early.
I'm sorry.
Suzanne Summers is on the show too while we're throwing away.
At this point, that point, once we start naming the people,
come and knock on our door. We've been waiting for you.
Sorry.
I guess 5, 4,
teeny tiny couch.
3, 2, 1.
Three's company 2. Yeah, I think that's the end of it. Yep, that's the end of it. So we don't have to do any more. But
fine.
Great. We are all latchkey kids.
I'm a little upset that we didn't see the Simpsons couch. And
that would have probably gave it away. Like,
I mean, the animation. The animation probably would have just.
There were plenty of animation.
I mean, I guess it could have been a 200. It could have been a 200.
Yeah.
One.
This one is animated and it's drawn. It's not a real living room that you can visit.
And he tells people to eat his shorts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And gets choked out by his father.
Yeah.
Gets abused every day by his.
It's a great family show.
Heavily mentally handicapped father.
And this is on subject, but off subject. So the Simpsons had like a black episode with Carl, where Carl had like had to find his identity as a black man.
Yeah.
And it's in this last season that just passed. It's actually really good. And I was like,
this dude has been on this. This dude has been on this show for 35 years. They had an episode about Apu finding his Indianness and actually getting an Indian actor to play him. And Carl finally gets, after 37 years, oh shit, I'm the only black guy here except for Dr. Hibbert.
And it's so good that even when he tries to talk to his white friends about it, they're like, "Oh yeah, we're here to support you," blah blah blah. When he starts talking about it, they're like, they start looking into their beer and mumbling because they don't want no piece of this. Again, I just commend the Simpsons for willing to do it. Actually, this last 2 seasons, they've been really they've been on they shit lately. They did an episode about basically how the government and price gouging is screwing all of us, and they've been Simpsons been really on their political stuff lately, man. I've been
trying to get relevant again.
I mean, I don't know if it's that. I think at this point, Simpsons is just part of what we do now. They can just keep churning out trash and we'll keep watching. Right.
It's gonna be eventually Dan Castellia and all these people are gonna die, and they're just gonna replace them with new voices, new voices.
Well, clones and AI.
Hank Azaria.
Clones and AI.
I don't think Hank Azaria is on the show anymore. I think he left. I'm pretty sure.
Well, I mean, he was the one doing all the more, let's say, he was a poo.
And he chose to give him that accent.
Yeah.
Originally, Apu did not have that accent.
But, I mean, it's not Hank Azaria's fault that Apu is Apu. I mean, it was already a stereotype to begin with. They wrote.
Sure, that's what the Simpsons is. That's what the show is. But yeah. I mean, yeah.
I think, who is it? Somebody has a deep dive understanding of Apu. I want to say it's not Aziz Ansari. It's probably Hassan Minhaj, who has a very poignant sort of discussion about Apu. But
I watched it. It's okay.
Yeah. But either way, let's go to fun stuff. Let's go to the things while you're here. Let's go to reviews. Let's review some stuff, right? Reviews.
Things while you're here.
What are you going to know to think about this movie if we don't tell you what we think? first.
That's a very good point.
Because we
That's
are
a great
thought
point.
creators. Here we go. Jumping up here for the first one. You guys ready? Because I'm ready.
Yeah, let's go.
Yeah.
Over many missions and against impossible odds, so many impossible odds, Dom Toretto and his family have outsmarted and outdriven every foe in their path. Now they must confront the most lethal opponent they've ever faced. Fueled by revenge, a terrifying threat emerges from the shadows of their past to shatter Dom's world and destroy everything and everyone he loves. That is what Google says about Fast X. Yeah, the latest Fast and the Furious movie that is in theaters right now as we speak. And of course, for everything we do, we give it a 1-sentence review. Lisa, go ahead and hit us with your 1-sentence review of Fast X.
It's like Batman, but with cars.
That's kind of true. Jason, hit us.
This Fast Extreme and Furious Aquaman makes this movie.
Ooh.
I'm going to deal with the stupid puns too. The supporting players of this franchise are vastly outshining Vin Diesel, whose terrible acting furiously brings this movie down. Yes.
Okay.
So that's how you really feel.
Yeah.
All right.
We have our pros and cons. So first up are going to be our pros about this movie. Who wants to start with their pros? Jason?
I'll go ahead. I'll jump right into it.
Yeah, start with your pros here.
My first pro, Aquaman swims through this movie and makes it amazing. Look here, man. Jason Momoa should only do roles like this from now on. Like, this should just be his bag. Stay in this. I mean, it was like almost like he was a gay Joker. Like,
that's what I thought.
He was amazing at this. He was just so fun to watch, and everything that he was on, he stole every scene. He just made it believable that, you know, he was a real threat. One of my cons is an issue with the real threat thing, but I mean, just totally great performance here. He pretty much takes this movie that's already unbelievable and makes it extremely cartoon and comic booky. And he's the first villain I felt like was really just like, hey, I'm just gonna have a great time being a villain, and he did that. So shout out to Jason Momoa. My second pro, this actually does feel like the end, and that's a good thing. I felt like throughout this movie they were doing homages to the other movies, slowly integrated in there. Like, we did get a race scene that at one point when, you know, they hit the NOS, kind of felt like the OG one when they would do that as well. And then also they kind of like made references to other things that had happened. Now, granted, we know this is a pickup from 5 and continued on, but I thought that they really are pushing that this will be the last, quote unquote, I don't know, trilogy or sequel for the ending of the saga.
Trying to be 3 movies.
So, yeah, which if it's 3 movies, I may be out. I'm just going to call it right now because this was, yeah, we'll get to that. All right. My pro number 3. They let Cena be John Cena. That serious stuff from the last one, it was cool, but you don't hire John Cena to do that role. You hire John Cena to do this role. Be John Cena. Be fun. Be charismatic. Be a good time. The scenes between him, I guess, and Little Brian or Little B was some of the funnier parts
that they stole.
Right. Was some of the funnier parts of this movie. Also, the fact that you let John Cena be John Cena almost explains away that you pretty much, with this child, are committing murder on a heavy level, and no one cares because we're just having fun enjoying them two being together. So let John Cena be John Cena. And my fourth pro is, this is gonna sound stupid, but it's gonna be real. Got back to the roots of family. And why I say that they got back to the roots of families because yes, everybody, I felt like they literally were like, hey, we need everybody to have something to do in this movie. And not just be like, oh, I'm here for moral support. I guess I'll run off the screen. Even the sister got like something to do in this movie, which, like me, I sometimes forget that she's even Dom's sister because they usually give her nothing to do except for safe lines like, oh, don't worry, the kids are with Brian. And I'll get to that in my con section. But everybody has something to do. So it actually did feel like it was real, like they were going for the family aspect of earning their paychecks.
Rebuttal. Mia does just go, I'm off the screen now. They just totally forget about her halfway through the movie. But she still has.
I guess you weren't listening to what I was saying. She literally had a whole fight scene,
and then she left.
Doesn't really get much of it. Yes, but they gave her something to do. Like when you punch somebody, you're doing something, not just saying, "Oh, here I'm here, Dom." Oh no, something happened. Let me take the kids and leave, and then you never see it. Like they actually had
Let
her
me point out the fact that Brian isn't here because he's dead.
Yeah, which we'll talk about that. Yes, those are my pros for this movie.
Lisa, what are your pros and cons for Fast X?
My pros are come one, come all, and see all of your favorite characters. Yeah, just when you think, you're like, oh, I guess they're not going to bring them. Bam, you get the cameo. Bam, you get another scene. Bam, you get another scene. So you like Tokyo Drift? We got you. You like Fast Five? Got you. Got you. You don't worry. Just keep waiting, and you never know who's gonna show up. It's my second pro is it's like Dragon Ball. No one's really dead.
That should be the next.
I'm gonna say
okay.
I second that.
Yeah,
that should be the next
movie. We'll just find all the Dragon Balls and wish them back to life.
They just drive around the world finding Dragon Balls to get them back to life.
Don't worry about it. Also, I just kind of like, I guess, addendum to myself is, that's why I'm not really worried about Jacob, because it doesn't matter, because we already saw Han survive.
Han was crushed under a car and then exploded.
I'm not worried about Jacob. I am confident he's just gonna walk right away and he's not even gonna have a scratch in his hair, still gonna look perfect. And my third pro is Jason Momoa danced his crazy manic ass through the plot. So the movie is, I think, Jason Momoa's movie. I think he made this movie insanely fun, and it didn't matter how ridiculous it was because it was just a fun movie. So that's what I got for y'all.
Addendum. It feels like he's the one that knows that all this is ridiculous. Everybody else is like, oh, this is kind of weird. He's like, no, all this shit is ridiculous. Let's just have fun with all this ridiculous shit. Well, I'm trying to kill you.
Yeah. He's just like, what are y'all mad about? Like, is this not the game? I just want you to do this 9 more times. Like, I'm just following the rules.
Alrighty. For my pros, I have some pros. They turned the ridiculousness of this franchise up to 11. Not space 11, but like 11, 10.5. All right, that's my first part. Second one, John Cena, Tyrese, Ludacris, everybody else realizes what kind of movie they're in, and they are playing to the cheap seats. They are, especially John Cena. He's doing his John Cena thing. Tyrese, Ludacris, they're there. They're fun. But we'll get to onto the other thing. Third things, these car chases are thrillingly stupid. I like them. They're dumb and terrible, but they're so much fun. It's hard not to like be giddy. It's like you're playing with cars in your backyard and just like, oh yeah, we're gonna drive this down this, and your brother's like, you can't do that. That's not how gravity works. It's like, nah, this is my imagination. This is how I'm doing it. He's driving down a dam. I don't care. So that's how these scenes are approached. But on to that, there feels like there's actual stakes to this, even though there aren't any. but you feel like someone's going to die. It actually feels like there's actually something that's going to happen, even though we know that this is all make believe and pretend, and everybody's going to be fine at the end, and they're going to all hug and have a Corona at the end of the day. In fact, I'm pretty sure Jason Momoa is going to be in Fast 12, and they'll be like, he's our good guy now, because that's how these things work. And then lastly, my last pro is, in fact, just Jason effing Momoa. He just, as both of you guys say, he just brings so much life and fun to this movie, even though it's already ridiculously fun and stupid. He just cranks it up to the next level. And I've never seen him so charismatic before. Like, if that makes sense. Like, he's just like, this is not a character he's played before. Usually he's the stoic badass, and he's just like, I'm growling at you because I'm so cool, because I'm Jason Momoa. I drink beers and throw axes. And this one's like against type because he does play this kind of ambiguously fey character who is just like gleefully having fun, and I loved it. It's great. That's my pros. There we go.
Good job, Jason.
I did my assignment. On to our cons. Cons.
Oh, I was waiting for it. Okay, good. Whew. I was going to do it myself. My cons. Con number one. As much as my screen must have just cut off because I felt like the cliffhanger wasn't a cliffhanger. It was just like, oh, we want to make more money, so let's just stop here. Like it just felt like it just was like, oh, mid-movie. All right, we'll just cut this off. We're done. And whatever.
We got
didn't complete anything, didn't finish anything, it just was like, yeah, we're done here. So
why didn't they put
that
like
kind of bothered
to be continued? Like it would have been a fine. Like that's not a thing that they do in movies anymore. To be continued.
We know at this point everything's to be continued. There's no such thing as a one-shot movie anymore. Everything's
I agree with Jason.
Okay,
I think
I would. Yeah, like a perfect example.
I agree with you too.
If you're going to go this route, you could have Infinity War this. Like you could have had him felt like he killed all of them or killed and just left Dom alive, and like that could have been in the movie. Dom thinking all of his family's dead and having to deal with that fact, and it could have ended with that, and we would have been like, now we know they wouldn't have been dead, guys. We know the snap was going to get undone too, but the point is, it would have completed the movie, and Jason Momoa's character would have felt like, oh, I finally have made you suffer enough, and then Dom could have been like, Bad Boys 2, this shit just got real because he's dead, and it could have ended there. But right. But I just felt like it just cut off the screen, and it kind of bothered me. This movie divorces the family. One of the best things about this franchise is all of them working together to solve whatever issue is going to happen. The movie, smartly, because it was part of the plot, separates them. But I think also that's why this movie doesn't feel as, I guess, potent as the rest of them, is because we never see the whole group dynamic together the whole movie. Yeah. We get the separations.
I'm sorry. I was I agree with you. I think part of that is because it is such a big cast. Like now it's such a big cast. I think that's the downside of having every single person in the movie because I remember the first scene when they're just all eating together. I was like, God, that's a lot of famous actors that all have together in one scene. Like I was impressed that they even accomplished that. And I was like, how are they going to have everybody working together? And then immediately, oh, Roman's leading a B team in Rome. And I was like, oh, okay. Yeah, they got to separate them. They got no flipping choice. But I agree. I missed that
family
closeness. Yeah, I did too. I agree with you.
But yeah, and I feel like that the ending should have went with all of them getting back together to make a launch a full-on fledged attack against them and him still outsmarting them. And then again, like I said, mentioned insinuating that he kills all of them and then blah, blah, blah. But anyway, I'll let the writers be the writers. I guess they're on strike now.
Yeah, they doing shit right now.
Right? But I did feel like I missed that interaction of all of them being together. So it did feel like that. And then my last really big con is Paul Walker's dead. Can we just start acting like it now? If I got to hear one more time about B. Now, the reason why it bothers me is that Brian is a pillar of this franchise, and we all will agree, and that's fine. At a certain point, he arguably, outside of Dom, was the most dominant fighter, car driver, all the things we want to say. So we got to keep starting to believe that all of these missions, all of them now, he just is sitting on the sideline babysitting. Like at a certain point, just kill him off screen. I hate to be like that, because then it actually makes the emotional moments fit. So that whole thing where Vin's in the garage and he's looking at the photos and all them, can we imagine if that scene would have been a situation where it's acknowledged that he got killed off screen and now Vin's really in his bag about it? And it would have gave Vin Diesel probably something to fucking do in this movie, because Vin Diesel doesn't really do anything in this movie. So I'm just tired of hearing Paul Walker's character be like, oh, well, Brian has to watch the kids.
He went out and got milk. He's going to be back in 15 minutes. We just don't see him.
Right. And it's like, out of here, man. Like, we as the audience, you've been giving the audience what they want for so long. Trust me, all the audience knows he's dead. Nobody's gonna walk out of a Fast movie because they're like, "What? They killed Brian on screen." Come, we get it. Hell, here's a twin brother. His twin brother can fit in there and just have him be filmed from the back and get him shot up. Who cares? Figure out a way to get him out of here because I'm tired of this babysitting Brian crap. Especially after you beat my man John in one of the movies. You showed you was a beast then, and now I got to deal with every movie you being like equivocally non-existent, but pretending like you exist. I'm over it. I'm over it. All right, that's all my cons.
Addendum to that too, because it wouldn't even make sense in this particular movie since Jason Momoa is going after trying to hurt Vin Diesel or Dom in this movie. It would make sense if he started off by like killing off Brian, because you don't have to explain his absence in the most dumbest way ever. He's out at the park with his kids while they're having a barbecue. What's going on? So yeah, this would have been the perfect movie where they could just like, and they could have done another heartfelt tribute to Paul Walker.
Also, it sucks too because, like I said, also sucks too because you open this movie with everybody at this barbecue and cookout with, the Toretto's grandmother showing up. So Brian was just too busy in life to show up for this. Well, he was like, "Man, probably fuck you and your grandma that don't ever come around."
There was a chair there open for him.
Once again, fuck you and your grandma. Like, we don't even see the kid no more.
We don't even see the
kid is disappeared too. Like,
kids don't have to drive a car at this point. He should be in the crew. Like, I'm here for my dad, family.
Right.
I'm 36. I'm shaving.
Little Dom or whatever they named him. I don't remember what they named the kid. Fuck it. He ain't in the movie.
Dom.
Yeah, probably so. All right. Those are my beefs, my cons with the movie.
Time out. Did what's her face name her son Brian?
Who?
Because
yes, Dom and them named the kid.
So the baby mama. No, remember Dom found out that he had a kid. The kid already existed, and then at the end of the movie, he was just like, "Oh, I named him Brian." Like he already had a fucking name, but he renamed him because his mama was dead.
Because he gets shot because he wasn't there. He didn't know he existed.
Right.
So probably has some like super specific Brazilian name. And
yes,
no, we're gonna call you Brian.
He's little Brian, man. Fuck that. What we talking about here? Fuck that. Mama dead. He got it.
Got shot in the head. Go ahead, Lisa, with the cons.
Okay, so
she'll be back soon. She'll be back soon.
The reason why I was so quiet was because literally my first con is in a place where no one is dead forever, it's time to do something with Brian. It is like I talk about this constantly with James because God bless him, he has to just listen to me rant about Fast and Furious. So he chose me; it's his fault. But like you guys said, he has a twin brother. If the twin brother is not an actor, I mean, we've been through franchises before where they've replaced the actors. Like if you're insistent on keeping Brian, Paul Walker, God rest his soul, is a generic white dude. Like like pick someone else to do it. If you want to keep Brian on the franchise, that's fine. Like it's not the most unbelievable thing in this franchise. So just replace him. Just put a new actor in.
If you can replace Terrence Howard with Don Cheadle and not think anybody's gonna care. You can replace fucking Paul Walker. Yes. You can replace Paul Walker with fucking Jason Allen right here. And everybody's like, all right.
Like it's just
family.
It's too much. And like you said, and Brian and Mia, they have 2 kids. So it's not like they have 2 kids. They're older than Dom's kid. And and we're supposed to believe that Mia is just at the Toretto's regular house in LA. Like when they're like, why isn't she in the compound with little B with Brian and their 2 kids? Like you're already making us believe the most unbelievable things. Like stop treating us like we're dumb. Like there's just like
right.
There's just like this little thing.
There ain't no Fast and Furious movies that they treat us like we're dumb.
No. With things like that, it doesn't. And I agree. I think it's because I liked that they didn't kill off Paul Walker's character because he died in real life. Because I hate it when franchises will do that because you can replace them, And I'm still of that unpopular opinion that I hate that they killed off T'Challa in Black Panther. Like I just don't think, I think that was a mistake. And So yes, Brian, do something with him. He's no longer allowed to be sitting in some compound. And if his compound is so unbelievable in Fort Knox, why the hell ain't y'all there? Like, why are you going? Why are you spending an entire movie to get to freaking Batcave that
In
lasts
Portugal.
for like 2 seconds? Like, you didn't get to do. You spent all this time going
Y'all
there,
could have just
and then
stayed on the road.
may as well just kept driving. Like, why wasn't that an option? So, yes. So it's time to do something about Brian. Okay, con number 2. It turns out that even parents even people who are parents in real life don't know how to hug their kids. That final, like, Vin Diesel's never hugged anyone in his life.
He's
like you just went down Hoover Dam. I know it's not Hoover Dam. You went down this dam.
Hoover Dam.
Your car was on fire, like literally on fire, and you still pushed the NOS, and your car didn't explode. You know, all these things, and you're just gonna kind of like hug your kid like this. There, like, pick up your kid and embrace him. Like, who? Apparently, Vin Diesel's not hugged enough as a child. Like,
that's why he came out as Vin Diesel.
that was ridiculous.
Rebuttal. I just think in this climate, Vin Diesel didn't want the lawsuit. So he was like, yeah, son.
Put in his real kid in. Put his real kid in, and they can CGI him.
Like, ruffles his hair, like, good job, son.
Right. No lawsuit. Everybody saw it. Didn't touch him, right? Everybody saw that, right? Okay,
we're good.
That was bad. Like, and that's the last scene in the movie. And that's like what we get. That's what we get is that stupid ass hug. Like, no. My third
I love you, Lisa. I love you.
My third con is Jacob appeared to have a personality transplant. So
night and day.
Yeah. Like, don't get me wrong, I loved it. I love Jacob in this movie, but you can't tell me that mofo is the same person. It wasn't like, no. Like, no. I mean, no. If you can convince me that he can get an airplane through TSA security, but like,
it also is like,
no.
That dude, last movie, murdered. He was the bad guy in the last movie. Murdered countless people. Right?
Yeah.
Okay. I have a slight rebuttal, and it's all headcanon aesthetic here for this.
Okay.
One. So the airplane through the airport, I'm assuming he had hookups there because we saw he had a hookup when he got on the plane. So that's why Subshot we got that through. My second one of why his personality is different is that being ousted from the family made him hardened and cold. And then finally, when he's brought back into the family, it has warmed his heart, and he's back to the joyful, lovable person he was before he got ousted. That is my headcanon of why he's different, because he was an asshole because he admitted. He was like, you got rid of me. You told me not to come back. So now he was allowed to come back and drink a Corona and get that good barbecue. He changed. He's like, oh, you know what? I'm revitalized. I'm good again, guys. I'm funny. I'm comical. I'm a good guy, right?
I don't know why you got rid of me. I'm good.
He literally raced him and was like, don't come back. And John Cena was like, okay.
Right.
Like, I don't know.
That's what it was. Like, even
I'm gonna ruin your life later.
Even like, what is it? Little nobody goes, oh, so you think he just takes some drinks, a barbecue, and that's gonna change everybody? Like, yes. That's what it is.
Have you not been watching the same movie?
Jacob was like, right. Jacob was like, whoa, I am a funny guy. What? Why was I so mean?
Sorry, guys. My bad.
Little Brian is like, oh, that's my uncle over there. Yeah, he tried to kill my dad last year, but yeah, we're cool now. We
and my mom, and my aunt, and my uncle.
We went to therapy. We hugged it out.
Big deal.
Like, you know, he's cool now. Like, look at this. He drives a 92 Mustang.
I can't. They was. Yeah. Okay. I love it. Keep him like that. That's fine. But you can't tell me that's the same goddamn person, because it's not.
It's not.
Okay. My final con is, it's a good thing Letty and Cypher had a really heavy jacket, because they're in Antarctica.
Like, where are you walking to? Like, where are y'all going?
Like, you're already dead. Like, you're gonna convince me they got a little snow jacket and they're just gonna survive Antarctica? I can't.
Like, we're just gonna head in that direction. Hopefully, we find a town.
Hold on, time out. I want to make sure I get this clear. It wasn't unbelievable when she like touched the keypad and made like gas come into the room and unhook themselves.
No, it wasn't.
Yeah,
that's her job.
I was jacket.
That's the unbelievable part.
Yes, they're in Antarctica. Maybe if they were in Canada.
I just want to make sure I was hearing that right.
Here's the parka. We're gonna be fine.
Yeah. Because at first I was like, really? They're in Siberia? And then it's like, boom, Antarctica. And I was like, no, nope. I called shenanigans.
Well, let's play that part. They had different pants on and boots. I mean, that doesn't change the fact that it's cold as hell there. Like, unbearably cold. But I mean, they tried.
Lenny
it.
Opened it up and was in a tank top. And she was just like, oh, he's cold. No, bitch, you would already be like dying. I can't.
I was like, no, it's not cold.
It's the summer in Antarctica. You didn't know that, guys?
I like because when Cypher started messing with the panel, James goes, "Why is that even there?
Why is that there?
Why is it even there?
Because when you put the guys on there, you want to press the button that says lock." And you press that button right there that says lock. And then you think about,
that's poor engineering. That's bad engineering.
Yeah,
nobody's fingers are going to reach that.
So that it pours gas into another room from a chair that they're strapped to. Like what? Like why?
But no, that's because she's a hacker and she hacked into the system without seeing it with these digits to do that. And then
she plugged one wire into another thing and pressed a button and fucking.
She probably created the technology that created the bad guy chair.
Look, I love Charlize Theron, so I would never think she could do anything wrong. Cypher has shown that if she touches any electronics, that she literally can, do anything. We literally watched early on when she unplugs the computer and the lights went out. So she can literally do anything with technology. She's what's the mutant ability when you can control machines? Technopath. Yes, she's a technopath, obviously, because she's literally touched computers and they've done whatever she wanted.
You know what? I feel like the end of this series is going to happen is they're going to realize they do actually all have superpowers. Like they realize they're like, this is like a soft entry into the X-Men franchise. Like,
well, technically, it is canon in this series for powers to be had because Hobbs and Shaw is canon.
Oh yeah.
And Black Superman existed. So technically you're correct. Like it has been shown that you can take something and get powers. So maybe all these kids were experimented on as kids and they didn't know it. And they've all taken that serum and they just refined it when they got the Black Superman. There you go.
Roman, right? Solved. Roman never gets shot. Like ever.
He's always okay. He's got dominoes.
Yeah. And he's even like, how am I not shot? And we're like,
Somehow Ludacris of all people knows everything about every technology ever.
Yeah.
Well, they do explain that.
And knows how to fight.
The final fight thing, I just assume once you get part of Dom's family, he takes you through a crash course like Batman in the Justice League.
So, his Bat cave in Portugal.
The Tash thing is explained with a throwaway line. It's one, I think it's part 5 or 6, where Roman's like, I thought you were just a mechanic. How you gonna do all this stuff like that? And he's like, I did have a past before this. Like he makes a comment about I did some other shit before I became a mechanic.
Oh, geez.
So that's I'm good.
He got a certification.
Yeah, right. I am Microsoft .OS certified.
He went to DeVry. He got a certificate.
And it's laminated.
That would make this series so much better if every time they're like, Tech, how do you know how you know how to do this? DeVry, my friend.
DeVry University.
And look into the camera.
Right.
That's what you got to learn at DeVry.
Oh. All right, Jason.
Are you done with your cons, Lisa?
Yes, sir.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, okay. My first con is every single scene with Vin Diesel is bad. He is the worst. You would think with all the money that he's gotten over the years, of being in these movies he could take in acting class. He has not. And to expound on that, my second con is every line of dialogue he has sounds like a pretentious 12-year-old wrote it. He tries to be poignant. He tries to be like this world-weary, gravelly dude, and it's like, that doesn't make sense what you just said. It sounds cool. It doesn't make any goddamn sense. And I
did him on that one because you're 100% correct. Because at one point, I saw this movie again with Jaren, and at one point when Vin Diesel was like, a kid that's a street racer and a sister that's a cop, they could use two different paths. We don't realize how similar they are. I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? She's a criminal. She's a police officer who was like doing the right thing, not a dirty cop. Doing the right thing, and there's nothing similar about your lives at all. How are you saying this? And then I realized, like, why am I upset about this? This is Fast and Furious logic. He's seen Brian, Hobbs, like he has all this record of cops that flipped to the other side and was like, oh, you know what? Maybe you guys are still the bad guys, but maybe I'm just going to be lenient on your badness. So
all y'all doing is stealing DVD players. I mean,
right. This is Fast and Furious logic.
Yeah, they graduated a lot.
Right. Yeah, this is Fast Furious logic, and I had to take it back, but you are correct. Like, literally everything he says is like, why are you trying to make this dude sound smart? It's like the dumb person that tries to say smart shit, and you're like, yeah, that don't make no sense.
This is listening to him like, no, that's not how it works. I know we talked about this earlier about the genetics of the Fast and Furious family, but my last con is whose black baby is that?
I'm the daddy.
Like, I want Maury to come out here and be like, you are not the father.
Trying to say that chick tried to trap Dom.
Yeah. So I need his child support.
Yeah. She's got a bullet for trying to trap Dom. Well, sorry.
Like, it's not his baby. That's it.
Man.
I got something to ask before we go into our rundown. So okay. Alan Rickson is in this. I think he is fantastic, as he normally is in everything. Your guy John Cena. And I was thinking to myself, as I'm watching this movie, we might get a Booster Gold movie in the near future. And I'm kind of sad that it can't be John Cena because he's already Peacemaker in DC. And John Cena would be perfect to be Booster Gold. But also would be also perfect as Booster Gold. Yeah. Alan Rickson.
Yeah,
I think that dude, and I think that dude would definitely, because he's funny. He can be funny, but he's also like a brick house. That dude's built like fucking. He's eating potatoes and cornbread for his whole entire life, and hopefully James Gunn is watching the show.
Yeah, I think he is. I'm pretty sure he sent me an email. It's like, I'll be watching the show tonight, guys.
Hire Alan Rickson as Booster Gold. I think he would do great because apparently he can do ridiculousness because he was in Fast X and was like, I'm a part of this too now. Let's all do fun shit. So that's my aside to that.
He's great. I think he's one of those, how there's like famous people who are fly under the radar, and like, so they're like the perfect kind of famous because they're in like everything, but nobody knows who they are. Because literally every time I say his name, people are like, who? And I have to name his entire roster, and they're like, oh yeah, I know him.
I know that dude.
Yeah,
like Michael Rooker.
Yes, like Michael Rooker. Yeah, there's another one who's like that.
Yeah, I thought dude would be a good Colossus if they ever wanted to not make him, a foreigner.
Russian. Yeah. He talks like this the whole entire time with bad Russian accent.
Right. But we could Americanize him. I mean, Storm didn't have
freaking Magic in the Alan Taylor-Joy. Her accent was just like in and out. Who cares? They immigrated. We don't need them to talk like Russians.
Yeah, it's called assimilation.
Yeah.
It's no big deal.
I learned how to talk from TV.
And with that being said, let's go to the rundown.
The Rocks rundown.
We will go over all of our the Rocks rundown. We'll go all of our pros and cons for Fast X and give our rating. I'll go real quick. My first pro is Aquaman swims through this movie. Pro number 2. Just felt like the end, and that's a good thing. Pro number 3, let Cena be Cena. And pro number 4, got back to the roots of family. My cons are con number 1, my screen must have just cut off. Con number 2, movie divorces the family. And my con number 3, Paul Walker's dead. Act like it. And my rating is going to be only on the scale of the Fast movies because we can't judge this against regular cinema because it's complete utter nonsense. So I'm giving this 3.5 because I think I know Jason feels like they were more extreme. I felt like they pulled back more, but Jason Momoa's performance on here is so good. It makes me, again, I wouldn't go see this again because I enjoyed his performance so much in the movie, and I have a movie pass so I can see it for free. But besides that, I went and saw it again because I enjoyed his performance so much. It's just a fun movie. If you like the Fast franchise, this sits up right amongst them. Still probably not as good as 5 and 7, which I always feel like are the best ones, but still a good time.
Family.
Lisa, what is your rundown for Fast X?
Okay, my rundown is come see all your favorite characters. If there was ever a character that you loved in a Fast and Furious movie, you will see them in this. Don't worry, no one's really dead because it's just like Dragon Ball. They just got to go collect them all. Jason Momoa and his crazy manic ass makes the whole movie and drives the plot. My cons are it's time to do something with Brian. It's time to do something with Brian. Maybe get a little acting class on how to hug your kid. And even though we got some personality transplants from Jacob, I'll allow it because he's better. And it's okay if you go to the Arctic as long as you have a jacket. So it's not a big deal. It's not that cold.
It's a little chilly.
That being said, this is 4.5 out of 5. This is fun. I will watch it. It's right up there with Tokyo Drift and Fast 5. I will watch this movie over and over and over. It was so much fun.
All right.
Well, Jason. Jason, please tell us your rundown for Fast X.
All right. Pros. Number 1, the ridiculousness of this franchise has turned up to 11, maybe 10.5. Number 2, John Cena, Tenacious, Ludacris. They all realize what movie they're in, which is great. Number 3, thrillingly stupid car scenes. They're so dumb. Number 4, it feels like there are actually stakes in this movie, and even though no one's going to stay dead. And number 5 is Jason effing Momoa. Chef's kiss. And my cons are every single scene with Vin Diesel in it. It is bad. The second con is he sounds like his dialogue was written by a 12-year-old. And lastly, whose damn black baby is that? My rating, I'm going to split the difference between the two of you guys and go 4 out of 5.
Nice.
Because yes, it was great. But that black baby kept throwing me off. I'm like, whose child is that? Someone missing that baby.
Whose baby is that? That baby is rice skin.
That baby is rice skin.
Hey, but in respect, we didn't get the terrible kid trope. Like, this kid followed directions.
Yeah.
Even when his direction was jump out of a moving vehicles into another moving vehicle
while
explosions are going on, he still did it.
Listen. That kid can fly across the highway and dive into a car, but he can't just like whoop whenever
when someone is reaching out the car,
trying to come. He can't just be like, oh, just kidding. Like, hold on.
He can fix an ad hoc rocket launcher that is bolted to a car. He knows how to fix that, but he can't get out of the way when someone reaches out a window 4.5 feet to go grab him.
Oh, just kidding. Psych.
Oh, what a great movie.
Good for that kid. He's Dom's kid through and through.
Speaking of race, we might as well jump into more racist shit here.
Cool.
Here we go. 2 ballers, opposites, who are seemingly miles apart, find they might have more in common than they imagined possible. That is what Google says. about this movie.
That's light. That's Google light.
They're like, there's none here. They made this shit up. They're like, we got to figure out what to talk about this movie. That's what they say about the remake of White Men Can't Jump, now playing on Hulu. White Men Can't Jump 2023. That's what it is. Now, if you know, now you know. If you don't know, now you know. We do a one sentence review for everything we do. Lisa, go ahead and hit us with your one sentence review for White Men Can't Jump.
Okay. This movie can jump back to the 90s where it belongs.
We're all going to do this, aren't we?
Yeah. Oh, I guess it's my turn. Black men don't jump out of windows, but this movie made me consider it.
For me, is this won't jump on anybody's best movie list for a soulless cash grab. We're all gonna jump on this. I'm gonna go to the pros. I'll start first because I think actually, unlike you guys, I kind of like this. It was meh. It was like not egregiously bad to me. But my first pros, this might even be a con, but it's a pro. The racial aspect is toned down. It's like not there. That might be fine. I feel like both the leads have a sympathetic backstory. I kind of like the backstory of them. One guy is trying to like hold on to what he had while the guy was afraid of going further. I thought that was pretty cool. The basketball scenes are all right. You know, it's basketball. It's a boring sport. You're not gonna be convinced to watch
Rebuttal. Basketball is not a boring sport. Continue.
Thank you for summing that up for us, Lisa. I appreciate that.
The two little friends that the dude had, I thought they were kind of funny. They're little, if you could actually hear their dialogue because they were talking too low. But I thought their little back and forth were kind of funny. And lastly, R.I.P. Lance Riddick. That's it. That's my pros.
Lisa, would you like to take the floor next for your pros?
She's like, there are none.
Okay. Okay. So it's clear the budget was spent on acting and its actors. So I feel like everybody who's in this movie did a really good job with what they were given.
Hey, they don't see the show. Lisa, you don't have to be diplomatic. It's all right. You guys did a really good job.
You guys did really good. You get a gold star for trying.
Lisa tried.
My next pro is, in my house we support Black people, so watch this and enjoy the soundtrack. So it had a really good soundtrack. Like it was, I enjoyed it. So yes, I yield my time.
That was very classy of you, Lisa. I really appreciate the class that you showed because I'm not going to have much class when it comes to this.
These are your pros.
My first, yes, my first pro is if it's free, it's for me. Sorry, eyes. It's free, so I had to pay for this shit. So I mean, it's the worst as it is. It can't be no worse because I didn't have to pay for it. So it is what it is. My next pro is this thing was free. So guys, you don't have to watch this. You can click it, and then once you get pissed off, turn it off, and you can go do whatever you was gonna do. Fry some chicken, maybe eat some watermelon, whatever you want to do that you ain't got to do with this movie. Number 3. I love you, Lance Riddick, and hopefully your family got paid because I watched this for free. So I ain't had to pay for none of this. So I don't know what money they had for this movie because it damn sure wasn't to make a good movie. I know that for sure. But in respect, Lance Riddick gave the only gravitas to this whole movie. He's the only points that made me feel like this was a real movie and not just like a bunch of kids putting on a play that they call White Man Can't Jump to get you to buy tickets to the play, but then realize like, oh, this ain't really about White Man Can't Jump because they ain't going to play it way too safe than what the real White Man Can't Jump was about. So they just would take our money. But since this was free because it's on Hulu, they did not take my money. So thank you, Lance Riddick, for putting on a good performance because and you were the only point in this movie that I thought, oh, this actually feels like I'm getting some emotion.
Like 3 scenes.
Once again, the only moments I felt like I was getting some emotion.
I didn't even realize that was him. I felt so bad whenever you're like Lance Reddick, and I look it up, and I'm like, wait, who is he? Literally, he's in the first scene, and I didn't even realize it was him.
I haven't seen him yet. I'm like, no, he's in the very first scene.
Yeah, because I was just, I think, so bored.
And did I mention this is free on Hulu, guys? So you don't gotta watch this.
Yeah.
Or maybe you do gotta watch it because it's free. All right, that's all my pros.
Addendum to your pros. This is written or produced by Kenya Burris, who, for those who don't know, he is the showrunner and creator of Blackish. He is kind of like the newish Tyler Perry sort of people. He has some very wonky sort of politics and what have you. But I would feel like someone who has done some good stuff. Like if you've seen some clips of Blackish, there are actually some pretty poignant like commentary there. And this is like in this movie, there's none of it. And like this is like if you're going to remake White Men Can't Jump in like 2023, when you have like another 30 years worth of shit that's gone down, right? Like where is it? Like why is it here? And like I expect more from
pro
him.
or is that a con? Because
I
got stuff there. I want to say, but I thought we're in the pro section of our segment.
It's a both.
I feel like I have a love-hate relationship with Kenya Burris, and I will say this because I did enjoy Blackish because it's no longer on TV. I did enjoy Blackish. I do think after like season 2, it became a trope of what I feel like all his things are becoming now. The trope is, hey, black people, we're saying cool black people stuff that are still good for a white audience to hear. And I feel like you people, he's just even Black AF that he had, like the bite that was in season 1 and 2 of Blackish. He's one of the people behind You People. I think like Kim, Jonah Hill. Regardless, I think the bite that he had for that commentary you speak about, I'm not going to knock a brother. You want ABC, you got to keep people jobs, blah, blah, blah.
Making money.
It got toned down. It became like, it became from, they're making inside jokes that the black community gets that they're given to the masses to being, oh no, we're making jokes that black people know that like everybody fucking knows. Like, and I feel like this movie was that. Like even at one point they even make a comment. They're like, oh yeah, like that whole little fake white guy can't ball thing. Like we know white guys can ball. Like you don't have to say that. We all know that. Like that's why it's dumb that you're doing it. Like anyway.
Yes.
Yeah. All right. I digress.
Cons. Who wanted this?
Oh my god! I literally have the same.
I don't know if that's a con. That's not really a con because like that's just an observation. Who wanted this? And like as I said, this isn't funny enough or makes a strong enough point to justify existence. Those are my cons. It's like there's nothing here to like make this movie worth it being here, right? Except for at least they hired a really chocolate ass dude to play the Wesley Snipes character. Good job, guys.
And he's good looking. He's very good looking, and he's better looking than Jack Harlow.
Who the fuck is Jack Harlow?
That white guy.
The white dude, the yucky dude.
That's it. That's my cons. I don't.
Oh, okay. That's what you got. Okay, good.
Cool.
I don't want to keep dragging on with this movie.
Okay, so con is this movie has no place in the present. The way that they wrote it, because I even texted you guys. I was like, wait, does this movie take place in the 90s? Because the costuming is all very throwback, like the scenes, like everything's very throwback. But they're talking about, I don't know. I think that it should have been like, what's that Adam Sandler movie where he's the basketball coach and basketball recruiter, and he's bringing on the guy, and then so he's using YouTube to get the guy like views and famous and everything, so people know who he is. And he's going all street ball. Like that would have made sense. You're making this movie to take place in 2022. The Hustle, yeah. Why is everyone not have a cell phone out? Like I don't understand. Like why are they not constantly recording this? Why are you not trying to be completely ridiculously famous on YouTube. Like I saw one shot with a guy with like a big ass camera, and I'm like, everybody would be doing this if it's basketball competitions. Like
you can be TikTok famous.
What are we even watching? Like who? And then my next con is, who is this for? Who is this movie for? And like
white people.
But it's not. It's not. And it's like the you people, and it's like the what were we saying, like the guess who. So not the Guess Who's Coming to Dinner, the Guess Who with Ashton Kutcher and everything. Because even then, that's probably 20 years old. But even then, it was just like, who the hell is this movie for? Yeah, like these, you have to completely change it and then just call it the same goddamn thing, or you need to redo it and just let it take place in the 90s or whatever, when it is a really relevant topic, because it didn't make sense, like, at all. And then do the characters even know what's going on in this story? Like in theory, like, it shouldn't have been a bad movie. They had the budget, they had, it seemed like they put the time to make it look pretty, and they wanted to make it look a certain way, and like, it seems like maybe it's just bad editing. I don't know, but like the plot was just all over the place.
It's in and out.
It doesn't make sense, like, why it's so bad. Like, and I was trying to explain to James, because he didn't get to watch it with me, and he was just like, "But why is it so bad?" And I was like, I don't know why. It shouldn't be bad. But
addendum. Because like in the beginning of this thing, he's like, "We're not friends. I don't want to be friends with you. I just want to make money with you." And then he's like, in the next scene, he's like, "Oh yeah, here's my kid's birthday party. Come on down."
Yeah,
and then in that scene, it's like, "Oh yeah, let's just drop our motivations while we're doing this." I am sad because my dad has MS, and I got into a fight, and that ruined my basketball career. Oh, cool. I blew up both my knees, but I keep lying to my girlfriend because I really like playing basketball. Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Great. like
it's so weird. So my final con is, I would have been so mad if y'all would have made me pay for this.
Oh.
It's like, it's free. It's free.
Look,
no, we pay $14.99 a month.
I never told all of us to go see House Party. Remember, I went on my own.
Yeah.
This wasn't free. I wasn't gonna make nobody watch this.
Yeah.
Thank God you didn't make us watch House Party.
I wanted to see House Party, but
I think it's on streaming now. I think it's on HBO, or I guess Max now.
Yeah, it's on Max. Max is just a guy.
Oh, all right, I have my cons for
your exhaustive list.
White Men Can't Jump 2023. First con, you listened to the OG, you didn't hear the OG movie. Like, when you make these remakes, you gotta find out what is the essence of that movie and then put it in the remake, but then whatever the conflicts are, modernize them to today's era. Now, it is a lot of junk in the original White Man Can't Jump, like the whole owing money to the mafia thing. Like, that's junk stuff in the movie. You really don't need it to get what the movie's about, but it does help enhance Woody's character as a hustler, shyster, like gambler. So you don't need it, but it does help flesh out his character more of his personality. I'm glad they threw away that in this one, but you never gave either one of them the hustler, shyster thought process and mentality. Even when they were hustling games, I can't even call them hustling games. They literally were like, "Hey, we'll play you all next and let's put money on it." And everybody's like, yeah, cool. Okay. Like, it wasn't like, "Oh, nah, we just gonna play. Oh, nah, we beat you badly. Oh, well, I'll play somebody else. Let me get that white dude." Like, that was the original. It was like, Sydney would go, they'll lose the game. Sydney would talk trash about how he could beat them with anybody, and then you get the goofy white dude. And then you hustle. This wasn't about hustling anybody. They said it out loud. "Oh, we could hustle up some money." No. You just played basketball for money. Like, there's no hustle there. To the point that
on a low stakes NBA game.
Right. It even got to the point that I was upset that they were hustling like this to get money to enter the competition, because it kind of felt like they were making really good money just playing basketball games and betting people, which could have been a continuous thing because other people would still bring money to bet you. Like, anyway, I digress. They just lost the message. A lot of the message of the first one was about racial tensions, racial stereotypes, and how basically toxic relationships or toxic personalities can defect or bring people together. This had nothing to do with any of that shit. It just threw all that out the window and was just like, we'll make up our own thing. That leads me to my next con. Pick a theme, any theme, and stick with it. Is it going to be about dude having PTSD from being a disappointment to his father? Is it going to be about him not being the provider in his family? Is it going to be about homeboy trying to get back in the league? Is it going to be about him lying to his girlfriend and realizing that, the lack of trust that he has permeates through his whole life? Like, what theme are we going with here? Like, I just feel like you just threw a bunch of shit on the board and was like, well, we're dealing with all of it. So, and then on top of that, you threw in the racial component, but the most interesting racial component you could have had, you didn't even touch, was what this white dude dating his sister. Like, that's probably the most interesting component you could have had, because that's something that we familiarly don't see in our society a ton of, a black woman with a white man. You could have really played on that, just no different than when Woody was with Rosie Perez. They played into that they were as an interracial couple, and her culture and how she ran things was this didn't even touch it. And some people say, well, that's a good thing. Again, if it was not called White Men Can't Jump, yeah, that probably is a good thing, because you're normalizing interracial relationships. I'm fine with that. Yeah. But you don't even know, you don't touch it here, and that's the premise of this movie. So it was all over the place, man. And that's what you said, like, what is this movie about? I don't know what this movie's about. I don't know, except for them winning money, maybe.
Yeah.
And even
it's about
in the original,
two dudes playing basketball.
But even from yes, it's true. Even in the original, the winning of the money wasn't. They thought you would presume that was the point, but then Billy Hoke is left by himself after he wins the money because he didn't listen to the woman, as Wesley said. So again, I don't know. I don't get the theme. Con number 3: you can't fill the shoes of gods. You can't pull this dark-skinned brother up in here and this old whack-ass rapper and replace Woody Harrelson and Wesley Snipes. I'm sorry. Sorry. It's too much charisma with them. It's the reason why they did multiple movies together, because their chemistry and charisma is just so good that, like, you can't put these other guys in there. And I feel sorry for them. They started a role they had no chance of winning. No chance. Like, those guys are amazing. So
I think that Woody Harrelson brought snacks to Wesley Snipes while he's in prison.
Yeah, I agree. I think so.
Probably so.
He probably snuck in some drugs for him. He definitely put money on his books. That's
100%. 100%. My next con is you made the most beautiful things in this movie the most useless things in the movie. The women. Like, if the original, again, the women were the backbone of both of these men. I mean, remember the whole scene where Billy Ho comes home and he's mad. Oh, Sydney was off his game, blah, blah. And she goes, they hustled you. He goes, nah, Sydney wouldn't do that. He's a good kid. She's like, no, they hustled you. Let's go. Rosie was like, about that life. We're going to go and get this money. She shows up, but where did Sydney's wife go? Sydney was like, oh, no, sweetheart. You will not be getting the money back. But your husband and my husband can go. Like, the backbone of that whole movie were the women. That's why at the end, when Wesley goes, you always listen to the woman, it was finished at the theme that they're the backbones of any strong man, regardless if he's a hustler, a clown, or a hardworking man. The backbone of any man is a strong woman. Mm-hmm. These women in here, they gave him moments, but it was pretty much useless.
They were just there.
The moments didn't strengthen the man, except for when she was like, I'll give up my money for the hair salon for you to go do this. Like, that's not a moment of strength. That was just giving the dude money. A moment of strength would have been telling her that, like, he should be doing this. He should be following his dream. He blah, 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 building him up and being like, hey, I'm going to give you this money because this is an opportunity for you to get back to what you love and do what you're great at. Like, any of that. The fact that come off the top of my dome tells you how poorly this was written.
There's a better scene here because in the middle of the basketball game, of the final basketball game, Lance Riddick's character dies. And he's just like, I'll play a good basketball game anyway. And like, you're going to use that as...
He's like, he passed, didn't he? Yeah. Okay.
Cool. Like you could use that at a point to like have her as like, no, like she could have died before the game, right? And And he's like, oh, well, I can't do this because my dad's dead. I can't do this anymore. He's like, no, he would have wanted you to love this game and do things that you love. So go ahead and here's the $5,000. Let's go ahead and do this game and for your dad. And nope, it's just like Dad, I look sad. Oh, he's dead. No,
and then, my last con is the basketball was a mid. I don't care what y'all say. That basketball was terrible in there. I'm sorry. We've seen too many movies. We got like all the stuff on YouTube, viral moments.
Yeah.
You could do White Men Can't Jump back in the day, and the basketball could look kind of mid because it was like, this is what we knew. This was just fun to watch. We've seen too many basketball movies now. We've seen too much stuff on YouTube now that like you could have had some real dope stuff in here. Instead, you gave us some old mid-ass basketball. I'm good, man. I'm good.
Also, did that there are also very obvious times where they lowered the rim so that Jack Harlow can dunk. It's like, what is that? Is that rim off 4 feet off the ground? Like,
yeah, they didn't even try to edit it. Like, it was
like, no, like
weird.
I can see that he's only maybe at most 6 feet tall, and he's sitting here reaching his hands up to touch the rim. Like, what? Get out of here!
So stupid.
This movie was whack, bro. This movie was
I don't know what they were thinking.
All right, well,
we're gonna do the Rocks rundown.
Yes, we're going to do the Rocks rundown. So, ladies and gentlemen, we do a thing called the rundown, is where we go over the pros and cons of the movie we're reviewing. This movie is White Men Can't Jump 2023. I want to make sure I keep specifying 2023, so you don't make we're talking about the classic.
Yeah, we're not dumb. Yeah,
right. Jason, what are your pros and cons for White Men Can't Jump 2023?
I guess these are pros. The racial aspect is kind of toned down. I guess that's a pro. That's number one. Both leads have kind of sympathetic backstories. Number two, the basketball scenes, they're all right. Number three, it's low-key funny. The two sidekicks at least are funny. And then lastly, my pro is Lance Riddick, R.I.P. Rest in peace, King. My cons are, who wanted this? I didn't want this. And number two, this isn't funny enough or strong enough point to justify this instance. My final score is 2 out of 5.
Well, you're generous. You're such a kind man.
Yeah.
I guess that's black people.
Black people in it.
Somewhat kind.
There's black people in it. You know.
Well, now I have to rethink
Lisa,
my story.
What is your
because if you
rundown
give it anything less
for-
than 2, you're racist.
Okay.
What is your rundown? Pros and cons for White Men Can't Jump 2023.
Rundown is this movie can jump back into the 90s where it belongs. I guess like they spent money on good actors, I guess, and support Black people, watch it and listen to the good soundtrack. Cons are this movie has no place in the present. Who's actually asking for these movies? Do the characters even know what's going on in the story? The answer is no, they do not. And I would have been so mad if I would have had to pay for this. So it's a 1 out of 5. I will never watch this ever again.
Why don't you like black people, Lisa? Just tell us.
Sorry.
Oh.
Jason,
Man, I feel like Lisa just took everything I was going to say. So, yes, my rundown when I go with the pros and cons of White Men Can't Jump 2023. My pro, it's free. So it's for me. Sorry, eyes. Pro number 2, it's free. So you cannot watch this or choose to watch it because it's free on Hulu. Pro number 3, Lance Riddick is the man. And this movie's free. So hopefully his family got paid for this. My cons are, number 1, you listen to the OG movie, but you can't hear the OG movie. Number 2, pick a theme, any theme, and stick with it. My third con is you can't feel the shoes of gods. My number 4 con is you made the most beautiful things in this movie, the women, and made them useless. And my last con is the basketball here is pretty mid. I'm right here with Lisa. I'm only giving it a 1 out of the memory of Lance Riddick. Because if he wasn't in this movie, I would probably give this a negative 2,000, 1 million, and quadrillion. Like this should just be burnt. It should be burnt, and everybody involved in this. It should not be on their acting credit. They should just pretend like it never happened. and just walk away and be polite. But I'm gonna give it a
dream.
1 because Lance. Right, yes, it's a fever dream, but I'm gonna give it a 1.
Like, do you remember that movie
that
White Man Can't Jump? It came out in 2023. It's like, no.
That was definitely
White Man Can't Jump came out in 1992 when I was in second grade. That's when that movie came out.
It's the only one that exists.
There never has been a Rocky 5. There's never been a fourth Indiana Jones movie. It's a lot of things that are in this never ever list that I dreamed of. Just some other universe has it, but this universe does not have it. No 2003 White Man Can't Jump.
All right, let's move on to our final movie of the evening. Mika and her ragtag group of friends discover an alien invasion in their tiny Arctic hamlet, and it's up to them to fight back using makeshift weapons and their horror movie knowledge. I don't think that's a part of it. That is the Google review or synopsis for Slashback, now currently on Hulu as well. If you don't know, now you know. For everything we do a one-sentence review. Lisa, go ahead and hit us with your one-sentence review for Slashback.
Let's slash back into acting lessons, shall we?
Damn, come on.
You gotta do the kids like that.
No, we don't do kids like that.
You gotta do the kids.
Go ahead.
My one-sentence review is Reservation Dogs meets The Thing with a slashback budget.
Oh yeah, there's no budget in this. My one-sentence review is this movie drew me Inuit. Got it?
Yes. I guess when is it my turn to start? I think.
Yeah, go ahead.
I think I'm starting this one. Okay. My pros. Excuse me. I'm about to start off with cons.
Yeah, we're doing pros.
My pros. My pros for Slashback. My first one is creativity equals silly. Sometimes, I love, again, we're gonna have a lot of things to talk about the cons, but the creativity in this movie it comes off so silly, but you could tell that the people who made this actually have a love for the genre, and that is rare because we get so many generic horror movies that come out and do stupid things all the time. This one felt like the people who created this actually love the movie The Thing, even though they reference it in the movie. They actually love those, Attack of the Body Snatchers. And you could tell distinctly the moment where, you realize, oh, they must have ran out of a lot of money, and then they're trying to get this movie finished. Because I hate to make that bear graphic at the beginning was pretty decent for what this movie was, but we get further on with the mask and the people. It was like, oh, they ran out of time, and so it was just like, let's finish this. Let's do what we got to do.
Rebuttal. I like the mask. I thought, even though it was completely low budget, the fact that they're just wearing kind of face mask, I thought it kind of added to its quote unquote scariness. I kind of like the look of it, but that's just me.
I agree. I think the aesthetic works, but you can obviously tell this is a straight up mask. You can tell that it's just a person's mask. right. It wasn't trying to look like a stretched face. It was like somebody made a mask of a stretched face and just put it on.
Put it on the guy.
So. But again, I think the creativity here, and I think that's it. The silliness kind of adds to the stuff here. My second pro is, where are we? And I say that in the sense that we don't see movies that show this lifestyle and show these type of people of color and these type of people that live in this kind of environment. And I thought that was a neat twist because we usually get, and part of the reason why I picked this movie, spoiler alert, I was when I suggested this one, is because two, I heard about it and I saw it before I suggested it, and it gave me, and now not on the same level because the movie I'm going to name is awesome by all standards, but it gave me Attack of the Block feels, where it was just like you don't see this environment, and to have something happen in this environment was pretty cool to me, and I think we should get always people of color should get more opportunities, but we should also get to other parts of our world and show these kind of movies or have these kind of movies. My third
also, Attack of the Block is one of the greatest movies of all time. Period.
As I said, yeah. Not on the same level, but same vibes. Number 3 is when the message is hidden in plain sight. There's a lot of messaging in here about motherfuckers still in their land, and it is awesome. Homegirl wears a jacket at one point. And it's Yeah, get his land back. And I just thought that was amusing as hell that you went out of your way to make this horror movie. That's dope. But you still went out of your way to be like, we still ain't figured out that you motherfuckers stole our land and you ain't giving that shit back. But we gonna put this in this movie. And I think even the ending credits, I think it says something like land back. If you watch it, it flicks to like slash back to flicks like
back to land back.
Yeah, and it flips back to slash. So I'm all here for it. And for all the woke go broke people, like they did this in subtle ways that if you know, you know. And if you don't know and you're not looking for it, it's gonna go over your head. They didn't beat you over the head with it. It just made it very undercover currents of it. And then look, I mean, let's be completely honest. These body snatchers are pretty much playing the role of the colonizers.
Yes.
So, but they don't state that out loud though, because a lot of movies would have been like, "This is just like that time in the trilogy." They just said some bullshit in American Hollywood movie. This movie just
reminds me when the white man came and took my grandfather's
land. Right. It would have had some old grandma.
We were free.
Right. Telling the story. And also I think it was the message too, like when one of the shorties was like, "Yeah, I'm tired of that ink and stuff." Blah, blah. Like it definitely had that diversity of like assimilation versus the people who are holding on to their heritage and culture and how that clash still looks. Because even as all Americans, we deal with that. Black people, white people, all of us, we have our culture that we came with versus like wanting to do quote unquote the socialized Americana kind of vibe. So again, I just thought that was really cool to throw into the movie because it didn't have to be, but they chose to do it. And yeah, man, I'm here for it. But those are my pros, man.
I did do that. I especially love the line where the little boy was talking to the Mika girl, and she was like, "I don't like country." Micah, I guess. I'm sorry, I'm gonna get the name wrong. She was like, "I don't like country food," and he was like, "What do you like?" He's like, "I like KFC." He's like, "Expensive," and like, here,
right?
Like,
yes,
that's really.
Yeah,
but there it would be expensive because they live on the other side of the freaking globe, and like,
yeah,
I was like, and that's kind of like a very good touch to the show that, like, not only are they losing their culture, but like things that we would consider to be like garbage food, because everybody knows Popeye is better than KFC. They're the ones like, that's like my favorite food because it's expensive. I thought that was hilarious.
Yeah. Well, and like country food, like, I don't know. I think being a Southerner, people kind of I always felt like they would talk down to, whenever we lived other places, they'd be like, grits is, talk just so much shit about Southern food. I'm like, it's so delicious. I don't even know what you're talking about. And like, I'm not going to sit there and argue with you over if collard greens are more delicious than, I don't fucking know, but they're delicious. And you don't even know what my granddaddy had to do to make them so delicious. So you could just shut up. So like,
he started at 3 o'clock in the morning.
All right. Who wants to go next?
You want to hear some pros?
Okay. So pros, always bet on girls getting it done.
Yeah.
So,
probably was a bitch.
Yeah, there was a moment where I was a little worried that there were a few moments where I was just like, oh man, they're gonna have someone come in, but nah, they stayed true to it. They stayed true to those girls, just bringing down the house and like keeping it tight and cleaning house and just yes. So absolutely, 100%. I want an adult prom.
Yes.
Like, I thought that was a very good way to show people what their culture is like, that they're gonna have that, but also use it as a plot device to be like, well, why are there no grown-ups in this town? Oh, because they're all getting lit
drunk
at the prom. So like,
where there's only one guy playing an accordion.
Listen,
yes.
So I really like that. I like that they did that. They kept it like, the thing about this movie is everything made sense. Mm-hmm. So there was never a moment where you're just like, well, why are they doing that? Like, it made so much sense. Which brings me to my other one is F the police. Man, like like seriously, you see that? Like that the guy who the police officer who's being a dick, like they're smoking.
They're smoking. You don't got a helmet.
Like, who cares if they're smoking? Go away. And this is Canada. Like, do they even care in Canada? And
free healthcare, they don't.
And I love how Officer Peters came, was like, you can leave. Your mom wants you home for dinner. Look, you need to wear a helmet because it's for your safety, and you'll have a good day. And I was like, oh, that's so sweet.
Yeah, and she like clearly outranked the white cop because she's like, that, get the fuck out of here. That's an order. So
right.
It's like, then why are we even here, bro? So I love that, like, he got eaten by an alien. Loved it.
Only white guy. The whole entire town gets eaten by an alien.
So then my final pro is K-dramas better watch out because the Inuits know how to get it done. So
you put Inuits against Koreans, man, you can't do that.
So what I'm saying is because you guys were talking about how an attack the block feels like it had that attack the block versus K-drama, like especially when, because it's not super high budget, but it still is very creepy and they, even though they didn't have a lot of money, they still took the budget and they still made their monsters, even to the mask, they still made it creepy and crawly and it had that like K-drama like that I love in feel, and so it's still like to me very much a horror movie, but like if I'm comparing it to a K-drama, that is the highest compliment.
Look, I mean, I enjoyed it. I had way more pros, but I mean, also one of the pros I like, this is the kind of movie that I wish and hope like they sequelize. Like I would love to see those groups battle more bullshit and see how they handle it. Because they even had the normal interpersonal conflicts, but they also, like at one point they're like, let's stop talking about this and like just go kill a monster. And I'm like, yes, thank you.
Do you like Tommy Lee? Are we doing this right now?
Right.
You're not a good friend.
For sure. All right.
My pros for this. I'm gonna go ahead and parrot Jason. It does do well with a low budget. I especially did like the creatures in their rubber mask. I thought that was a creepy, inventive way to be still creepy without. That probably cost them $25 total, but I really enjoy that. This movie actually makes you believe like they're real like native girls fighting aliens. It's because of the low budget. It's because ain't none of these people know how to act. that they showed up to some poor village in the middle of the Arctic and was like, hey, we're going to shoot a creature feature. You guys want to be in? And they're like, yeah. And Alyssa would be like what they would be like if it was like 100% real. The dialogue in this is pretty funny, even though it's delivered fairly poorly. As I said, that's going to be my con. The acting is just not there, but like the dialogue's pretty witty and funny. It's just that they kind of rush through it because they're probably new at this. I don't know them. I don't know their life. And lastly, I love to get. It's good to see horror movies and horror stories and any stories in general starring Native Americans. I'm here for it. We did a lot of shit to these people, and if they can make movies to make us give them money, that's great. That's my pros.
All right. We'll jump to the cons section of this. Only have one con really, and as we're all probably going to echo, these can't be professionals. The acting on here is not good. But I will say this, and this is where I think why this movie for me is good and doesn't go to great is because what Jason just hit. I'm glad you said it's your last pro, so we will listen to this in order. It syncs up. It's well written. It's very well written. If the actors could deliver on the level of the lines, and I'm not holding that against them. They're young. One, they're kids. Two, we don't know the situation of how these people were found. But if they could have delivered acting, this movie would have been great for me because it is a lot of great written dialogue that just doesn't feel natural as they're moving through it. Not because it's not written for their age, but just because it's just the delivery just feels off. But even with that said, you buy into the movie early because the aesthetic is so good. So, but again, that's the only real con I have. Is just I would have felt like this movie was great if the acting would have been. And going to the we keep making the comparison to Attack the Block. Like, one, the acting in Attack the Block is really good, but John Boyega in that movie is amazing. And you know that when you watch that movie that kid was going to eventually be a star, which he is. I wish we would have had someone in this one that was a breakout candidate. Well, we watched it and we were like, oh crap, like that young lady or that guy's going to be. And I'm not saying they won't eventually. It just didn't get it from this movie. So that's the only con I have.
Yeah.
We see you got a con.
Oh, okay. Con. I guess everyone is an alcoholic in this town. So I don't know if you guys know.
Kind of a thing in their community.
I don't know if you. Yeah, that and so like that didn't sit right with me because it felt like, I don't know, you have this opportunity to like bring your culture to a whole lot of people who wouldn't watch it, and then you're gonna just sit there and paint literally every single adult as an alcoholic, and honestly, like terrible parents. Like even the rich girl didn't like had shit parents, like went to go get
we're gonna get plastered,
wasted. Yeah, so it's just like, and I do know that I understand that it is a common like plague, through tribes and stuff, but I don't know. I just hate that they mentioned it so many times, and it just kind of felt more like stereotype. I don't know. It just didn't sit right with me. Next con is sisters before misters, ladies. Like, you know what? He's I guess he has.
Boy in town.
I don't care if he has a 4-wheeler. Like, listen to your friends. His busted 4-wheeler is already backfiring. So you just need to listen to your friends and don't even worry about that boy. Thank you very much.
Facts.
Also, so my final con is listen to every lesson your parents ever told you. Like, the thing is like Native Americans are just like so I'll say like the first people, right? Or natives. You guys know what I'm saying.
Yes.
They are very number one, superstitious people, and also very proud in their stories that they've passed on, and they literally almost got completely annihilated. So it's really important that they constantly are passing on these stories to their kids. And I didn't like that, like only the one girl was the one listening, and like, and apparently she has no parents and she has a drunk grandma, like, and they're all making her out like a crazy person. Like, no, that's not okay. I think it would have been more believable if she was like, oh, it's a you know what, I'm not going to say it because I'm also superstitious. If it was a, you know what, and they were like, we don't have time for that. We got to go to a party. Like, I believe you, but that's somebody else's problem. Instead of being like, nope, you're crazy. That's not real. Like that also just kind of like, I don't like that whole gaslighting thing. Like, you're all raised the same. And then, to get to the boy's house and the boy to be like, my mom painted that. And then all of a sudden she's like, oh, well, maybe it's not lame. Like, because the boy said, I don't care, Jason. This is the new millennium. It is time for girl. We got to start raising them right from the very beginning. No. Okay. That's all.
I'm gonna slightly rebut that because I like the fact, I thought it was a cool fact that Micah, her dad, is supposed to be like the best hunter, and she's completely ashamed of him. And even everybody's like, "Nah, that dude over there is cool as hell, man. I love that dude."
Yeah,
and she's like, "I don't like him."
And she's a bad shot. Like, they
and she's a bad shot.
And she's still a bad shot. Like, Micah, you ain't all that. Get out of here.
But that goes to, like, the building of her character is that she really learns to appreciate not only her father and her culture, but just to embrace, the things that she's learned from him. And, that's what ends up helping them save the day is all her, Native American training. And the fact that her dad's an awesome badass and can, the best hunter out there. I really like
And
that
they
part of
get
the
a
movie.
food truck at the end.
And they get a food truck, and then he doesn't have to sell out of plastic bags. Like, which is like, honestly, if your dad has a soul food truck, you're gonna be making all sorts of money. Like,
Yeah,
that KFC money.
Yeah, that KFC money. My cons are pretty short here. Yeah, the acting in this is, it's chore. It's rough. But as I said to these guys, they probably don't have like a huge theater program out on the reservation. I don't know. I'm not from there.
I don't think it was a reservation.
It's a village
because they wouldn't have had a white cop on there if it was.
It's a village out in the middle of the Arctic. I don't think they have a Juliet.
I know things.
For a creature feature horror movie, there really not a lot of sightings of the creature feature. It's not really horrifying. Like it's there. It's a part of the story, but it's like it's not enough there. And lastly, the story just kind of ends. It just kind of
does. It does.
We get a 1 month later. Yeah, 1 month later.
But it's like, oh yeah, we killed these two things, and the thing's like, yeah, oh well, fuck this planet, I'm out. Like,
hey,
it just
don't get beat by some little girls. I need to get the hell up out of here.
Yeah,
if I can't beat these girls, I gotta go. Like,
imagine
them 15 people, and I lost. I'm out.
Imagine them going back to the mothership and then being like, "You got defeated by girls."
Like not even a whole town, but like 3 girls. Yeah.
Like
one rifle between them.
Yeah. Not even the army, just 3 girls. Yeah,
wow,
you're not
going on no missions no one more. Job.
Shit, like you can't even go back to our planet. At least the Independence Day aliens blew up the White House. Shit.
We literally gave you the easiest assignment. Guys, I tried really hard. Get out of here, Spooples.
Sorry, Jason. I'm sorry.
It's Spooples. All right, we'll go on to the rundown.
The Rock's rundown.
We give our pros and cons to Slash Back. I'll go ahead and I'll just jump in and knock out mine real quick. My pros and cons to Slash Back is pro. Creativity equals silly sometimes. Pro. Where are we? Pro. When the message is hidden in plain sight. My only con is these can't be professionals. My rating here, I love these schlocky, creative, like kind of horror movies where you could tell, like I mentioned earlier, that people love what they're doing. They love the genre and they want to just add on to the mythology of the genre. So I'm going to give this a 3.5 out of 5 because 1, I always boost up horror movies, but 2, this is something that if you're a horror fan, I think everybody should see and check out and enjoy. So that is mine. Lisa,
okay.
What is your pros and cons for Slash Back?
Okay, pros and cons. Always bet on girls getting it done. Love the girl power. I want to go to an adult prom. I loved how they use that to explain their culture, and it was a great plot device to have the grown-ups all in one place. F the police, love that the cop got it in the end. Yeah. K-dramas, better watch out. Anytime I'm comparing this to a K-drama, that means that it is amazing. So this is kind of like a pro and con both. Was this the gross scary monsters, like they were good. They weren't great, but I thought that they were good for what it was. Con is, I guess everyone's an alcoholic in this town. I understand that is definitely a problem within the community. I hate that it was such a focus, and I wish that they could have found another way to do that. Sisters before misters, ladies. I don't ever want to see 2 girls fighting over no friggin' boy. Get out of here with that nonsense. We're better than that. Listen to the lesson your parents ever told you. I thought that it was a little unbelievable that only one girl was actually listening to the legends that are passed down. And I would have liked to see, more of just a different way to dismiss engaging in the monsters to begin with. I will be honest, it took me a few times to get into this movie. I think I started it about 3 times, and then finally I just sat down because I was literally running out of time, and I was like, I just got to watch this movie. And And when I finally did that, I really enjoyed it. So it's definitely not a background movie. It's definitely not something to do while you're multitasking. You need to sit down and watch it. I really enjoyed it. I think I'm going to give this a 4 out of 5.
Great.
Oh, wow.
That's
great.
That's fantastic. That's awesome.
All right, Jason. This is the rundown where we get the pros and cons of Slashback.
Slashback. Boom, boom, boom. Rundowns. The Rock runs down Slashback. My pros are does well with the low budget, number 1. Number 2, makes you believe that these are actual real native girls fighting off aliens. Number 3, the dialogue is occasionally funny, even though it's delivered poorly. And number 4, it's good to see horror movies or any story really involving Native Americans. My cons are that the acting, it's bad. It's bad. For a creature feature, there's not a lot of creature to feature in this movie. And lastly, they don't really resolve the story. It just kind of ends. I like to compare this movie to another movie that we watched, Slayers, which had like actual actors in it, and I couldn't even finish it. I could not watch it. It was unbearable.
Garbage.
And this one, I don't think these people, I've never heard of these actors or actresses before. But yet I still really, really enjoy this movie. So it goes to show you don't need the best, Thomas Jane out there to make a good movie. I'm going to give it a 4 out of 5 too. Because I really enjoyed it. Wow. You suck, Jason. We like this horror movie.
I'm about to say that is rare that I'm usually boosting up the horror. Oh, hey, I'll take it. That is all we have. Lisa, do you have any housekeeping notes?
Housekeeping. We're still working on the website. Yes, It's okay. So I don't know what's going to happen if you go to it. I'm going to have to get on Jason, I guess, AWS.
We'll talk about this on Saturday.
Stupid expensive. So we are working on a website. We're working on merch because I want to wear our merch, and apparently Burnt Toast, Twisted Toast, whatever it's called, they wear a hat every day. So I'll wear a head cancer hat every show.
Toast.
So okay. So
Godfather show.
I'm gonna change our name to Burnt Toast. And just roll
y'all,
with it.
I'll wear a hat and then follow us.
I mean, honestly, we are 3 versions of toast here.
Yes, quite literally. Yeah.
Obviously,
I'm on the number 1 setting. I'm on number 1.
Actually, I need to get with my guy and get him to finish the stuff so we can.
Yeah, because we got a new logo. We want to update the logo.
Right.
We're gonna be changing hopefully things for the better. We have a big meeting coming up, so we'll let you guys know. So I think we might change the structure of the show a little bit, but we'll keep you guys posted on how we do that.
We're hiring Jaren back.
Nope.
Being here full blast. We have to say things like back in the day, but like I need to reclaim my time.
But no, like I for one am one of those people. I don't know. I love what we're doing, and I hope you guys love it. So we want to keep doing it, and we want to put more time into it. But to do that, we got to make more money, and that's just the facts.
We live in a capitalist society. We have to capitalize.
So so hopefully maybe eventually we'll get just like a donate button, and y'all can just ding, 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 ding. Maybe you'll get really drunk and just bloop, bloop, give us all your savings, and I'll
put my cash up here. Yeah. I cannot guarantee that it'll get to anybody else on the show.
So I think that's all the housekeeping. Yeah, I think
that sounds about right.
Yeah.
So please spay and neuter your animals and adopt, don't shop. That's it.
For next week's show, we're at least going to be doing The Littlest Mermaid, Black Little Mermaid.
Mm-hmm.
Little Blurmaid.
The littlest. Why she gotta be the littlest?
Because she's from the Caribbean Ocean or Caribbean Sea. And
did you see, which we might, I'm sure we'll talk about this next week, but did you see that they changed the lyrics to Kiss the Girl?
Is it like kiss the person?
No, I'm excited about it. We'll talk about it. Just pay attention to it.
I am not excited about it. I think this is
I don't know any song from The Little Mermaid, so I won't know if it changed, was any different or whatever. I probably want to see The Little Mermaid maybe 3 times my whole life.
Only 3.
You have daughters.
Exactly. She probably
I
shouldn't.
don't have to watch every movie with them. I know there's nothing wrong with the movie. They can watch it on their own.
There is something wrong with the movie. Little Mermaid. She gives up her voice for a man.
I know. Fuck that shit.
It is one of the I mean, it did help the Disney resurgence. Let me first give it its credit for what it did.
It did. Yes.
But if you want to compare this to Beauty and the Beast, Aladdin, and the Lion King, I'm sorry, the Little Mermaid ends up in last place for me.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Yes.
Yes, I'm saying. So that was all in the same era.
Monsters. Yeah, we know.
Prince Eric literally falls in love with a person that he thinks is a moron.
I'm here for that, man. But I'm down for that life.
Like
I'm rich.
This girl
all I need is the arm
is an idiot.
bro.
I can't help it like this.
But look, man, I got all the riches. I just need you to be here, be cute,
yeah,
on my side.
Just be pretty, girl. That's all. Don't talk.
Yeah. Don't be telling me nothing.
Don't let her see. Don't give her no forks. You don't know what that is.
It's okay.
Right.
It's okay. You're so pretty.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm broke, so I need my woman to have very much to say and things to do. But if I'm that rich, I'll be like, nah, sit back. We got a maid. You good? We got babysitters. We got nannies. Yeah. Just sit back. Just relax. Pamper yourself. Treat yourself.
You don't need legs. I'll just have some made for you. It's fine.
Right. Get you that Darth Maul edition.
Okay. Yeah. Then we'll let y'all know what else we're gonna do. So I would like to do an anime because I'm missing some anime in my life.
Ooh, there's one I saw that I heard was pretty good. It's a remake of what's the one with the battleship with the space battleships? They remade it with the space battleships.
Jason, quit saying it. It doesn't. It's not.
There's battleships and there's space. I don't know. you know space, right? I'll look it up and I'll text you guys what it is. It's about space battleships.
Battleships in space. Okay, gotcha. All right.
Like they're actual battleships.
How long is it?
Yeah.
But they're in space. Like how we had battleships on the ocean.
Is it?
Yeah.
But these were going to be in the space.
That anime were the battleships.
Yeah,
but like the ones we see here, but they're in space.
Yeah,
gotcha. Okay, I was confusing the space and space. Like I didn't know if you were saying they're in just an area that's space, or if they were in like the area
they take up
out of
volume
the
and mass.
Space. Right. I was confused there. Sorry. Now I got you. They're battleships in space, out in space. Got it. All right.
I'm sorry.
At least it's not amused by this.
I already checked out. I was just waiting for someone to say my name so my brain could tune back in.
It's like, they're going to do this for a while now.
Let's wrap up. The Elvis lovers will hate this segment. All right, time to wrap up the show, Jason.
No, they love this segment because we're wrapping up the show.
Gotcha. Oh, I'm at the battleship thing. They're going to hate that segment.
Oh, yeah. They like Elvis. Who cares?
Okay.
Of course they deserve to die. I hope they burn to hell. Any last words, Jason?
One, I saw a Little Richard biography, whatever. It wasn't like where they had somebody playing him, but they had clips from his life. Little Richard's a very interesting man, which I think we all kind of know on paper, but hearing about his life is wild. It's on. I rented it off like my TV, but check it out if you get a chance. I did see an early screening of The Blackening, so I will do a non-spoiler rundown only. So it will be very ominous, but I will not put a rating because I can't wait till we all review it as a team and can have fun with that.
Tell us if you liked it or not.
No, I didn't tell them a goddamn thing. So you guys will know. They'll know when you guys know.
I don't know how I feel about that.
I don't know how to feel about it. I thought we were supposed to be friends.
Yeah, I thought we were supposed to do it together. It's fine.
3, we're gonna try to figure out a way to get us to go to Double Toasted Live. So we'll figure that out. If we do go, be a great time. We'll take a lot of photos and everything and share with everybody. So everybody that's following us can see that. And then the last
to their show.
And Jason, gotta stop with this sauce. Last thing, speaking of sauces, sweet brown sugar. Again, the bakery I go to out here in Grayson. Oh, if y'all come Saturday, we can go up there if you want. Go to the bakery I go to out here in Grayson. They're really cool, black owned, wonderful, wonderful people there. Please check them out. Again, it's off Grayson Highway in Georgia. Just really, 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 really great and phenomenal desserts. They even sell quiches, chicken salad, pimento cheese. They have soups. It's just a good spot, and I really, really thoroughly enjoy it. And every time I go, I damn near spend between $40 to $60. Not because they're expensive, just because I buy that much shit. So I just can't say no.
Give me two.
Yeah, exactly. Just can't say no. So please, again, if you're in this area, just take a little further trip out of your area if you can to support them. They will really appreciate it. They're good folks.
Jason's out there. All right, y'all.
Yes.
Thanks so very much for joining us once again for the Head Canon Circus podcast. Please make sure to like, share, subscribe, do all those things, interact, comment, all the good stuff. As Lisa said, we need to make money doing this because our jobs are jobs, and we want to do things that we like doing. Also, remember to be kind, be considerate, and tip your servers and bartenders at least 20%, if not more, if you can afford it. And that's it. If you see Jaren, you'll never get back on this show, Jaren.
Oh my god.
Oh yeah, I forgot. We got to review the cleaner next week. I forgot about that.
Oh yeah,
we're
reviewing the cleaner next week. Yeah, the cleaner.
Yes.
So either way, to Kenya Burris, make better stuff, please.